Hey, want to mention that the Beach to Bay Relay Marathon is being postponed this year. That race is traditionally run on Armed Forces Day, which is the third Saturday in May. This year, though, it is being put off until October 30th. Last year's race was called off because of the pandemic. Now, anyone who has already signed up for the 2020 or 2021 race will be able to take part in the October event.